everyone. Sorry, I'm wiggling. I am Val Jean, and this is my world, at least how I see it. If you are happy with the State of the Union, please scroll by. This is not the channel for you. If you are not happy with the State of the Union and you want to do something about it, pull up a seat, get a pencil, piece of paper. You're going to have homework, and we're going to see what we can do to let our voices be heard. I have fam in the house. Yay, Chris. So good to see you. I'm glad you remembered. And my cousin Michelle is asking people to tap the button. Yeah, we have homework. Roberta, you can lurk. I'm so happy you are here. I'm so happy about the golf ball. Girl, we're gonna be okay. Yes, homework equals good. Like Cory Booker says, that John Lewis said, we're going to get into some good trouble. And you are a homeschool teacher. Okay. Michelle was a homeschool teacher as well. Homework means we are letting our voices be heard, and that is also a good thing. And I have to pat myself on the back. I remember to put the links in the description for how to find and contact your senators, your congresspersons, Hakeem Jeffries, the text number for the president, but I suggest you get a burner phone because I don't want them tracking you down. I tried to get the email address for Mike Johnson. You cannot email him unless you were one of his constituents. I guess I'm going to have to do a Zillow search and find an address and a zip code in his district. Other than that, you cannot contact him. Even though he's the Speaker of the House, you can't talk to him. Chris says, answer to the question of whether my HUD housing under federal jurisdiction. Yes, for illegal drugs. No, for real ID. Why? No one can tell me. Answer to the question of whether my HUD housing is under federal jurisdiction. So your housing is under federal jurisdiction for illegal drugs, but it's not under federal restriction for jurisdiction for a real ID. Huh? That makes zero sense. Was somebody in your building arrested for illegal drugs? How does that happen? I don't understand. I'm so confused. Didn't they dismantle that bureau anyway? We did a thing. We did a thing. We addressed that a couple of weeks ago. I actually have not seen anything on HUD since we did that. Roberta says, can you contact him through the house switchboard? I'm not going to call that man. I'm not going to have him tracing my phone. I'm going to write to him. He can read the words that are coming out of my fingertips. No, I don't want to talk to Mike Johnson because I vowed a long time ago, I do not waste my precious breath trying to convince liars that they are liars. And every time he opens his mouth, he's lying. I'm not going to waste my breath talking to him. That's like throwing spaghetti up against the wall. I got a letter from AARP. They wanted me to fill out the little thing and mail it back to them with the check so that they could mail it en masse to the senators and the Congress people and all that. And I always just write it up and send it out. Well, today I got the wild hair and I said, not everybody has AARP. Why not just everybody can find it and read it and write to their people. So it is the entire letter is listed in the description. So all you have to do is open up your mail to your representative and your senator, copy it, paste it. If you're not a member of AARP, you can just delete that portion of it, copy and paste the rest of it. I did the hard work for you. That's to mess up for the times when I don't have my act together. I really had my act together today. I'm so proud of me. I am so proud of me. And for those who just want to keep on going, and I understand that. Here is the I don't know if I have enough words. Is that over? Over? Yeah. Yeah, got it. This is the letter. Oh, I can break it up in StreamYard. That is awesome. Pebbly Poo, hello, hello. Sending joy, love, and happiness. Yeah, HUD is, wait a minute, hold on. Chris says, no, they got evicted from HUD housing for pot, even though legal in Illinois. Is it only legal? Okay, let's see. Is pot only legal for medicinal purposes? As of January the 1st, 2020, recreational consumption, possession, and sales of cannabis products are legal in the state of Illinois. Well, Lord, I can't explain that. They can follow up with somebody because they should not have been evicted because they had pot. And even though it's HUD is federal, well, but Trump is trying to give the states back to the states. Pebbly Poo, how you doing, sweetheart? Bringing joy, love, and happiness. Okay. Yes, is pot legal in HUD housing? I have no idea. Let's see what Mr. Google says. Because marijuana, oh, I see. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Hold up, wait a minute. Okay. Okay. Because marijuana is a federally prohibited substance, the use and possession of this drug is already prohibited on HUD-funded and other federal properties, regardless of HUD's smoke-free law. Federal law exempts state law, including in those states where the use of medical or recreational marijuana is now legal. Well, that's a fine how do you do. So that's what happened, Chris. I feel bad for him. I really do. That is quite unfortunate. I did. I even sent you some things that happened down the street. Yeah. But funds are managed by state or county. Yeah. Chris says AARP started as a Republican thing. Has it morphed? Yes, they are actually fighting for our good. They are fighting Washington. They're trying to protect the seniors, and I'm happy for them. Chris says marijuana is not federally legal, which means they applied the federal law, not the local law. Yep. I don't agree with the way they do it, but they do what they do. They do what they want to do. Pebble says, I think smoking is not allowed in federal buildings. Now, and here's the other thing. You can't smoke marijuana in federal buildings, but you do not have to have integrated restrooms anymore. And you don't have to put into that you have integration policies on your federal applications anymore. Mm-hmm. Dinky Jen, hello, hello. Thank you for coming. How are you? I love you too, sweetheart. Roberta says, that's what I just pulled up. Okay. Thank you. You were typing faster than I was. Look at you. It deleted before you could see it. Which deleted? Oh, here comes Chris. I asked because Real ID said it would be required to enter federal buildings. You know what? This is the first that I'm hearing that AARP, it might have started out as a Republican, because the people who were against segregation started out as Republican. I was looking, trying to see if I had an AARP magazine on my desk, and I don't. I've got everything else on this desk but AARP. But so I don't know its political holdings, but currently they are fighting for people over 50. That's their current mission. Darcia, welcome in. Thank you for coming. How are you? Yeah, the link I sent you via the first link didn't open. Michelle, I sent you a second link. I did not realize that the first link wouldn't open. She says real IDs are required to enter buildings because the idiots figure that libs won't get the real IDs. Well, I surprise them on every level because I've got my real ID and my passport. Bring it on. Then we have the unfortunate situation where they deported a nursing mother back to Cuba without her baby, and her baby will not eat and had to be hospitalized, and the government will not bring the mother back. So the husband had to hospitalize his baby, and he's trying to get his wife back, and they were in the process of filling out papers so that she could get her green card. And they are arresting the immigration judges so that people can't get their green cards. They're actually snatching the judges and arresting them. Oh my God. I didn't get my real ID, and I waited until because I had just gotten my regular ID when I found out about the real IDs. So I waited until it renewed, and it just renewed last July. So I got it then. I had to pay extra money to do it. Michelle has a real ID, planning to get passports for me and the son this summer. Darcia says, sorry I'm late, but did you get a chance to look at the email I sent you? Oh, for the love of God, Darcia. I'm sorry, I forgot about it. Let me look at that real quick. Roberta says, I don't have a real ID, but was planning on it when I renewed this month. There you go. Yeah, I just waited until I renewed and then went forward. We have, did I close my tab by mistake? Yes, I did. I got so many tabs and I closed it. Okay, that's okay because I put the link in the description. I can do this. Okay. Our dear Bernie Sanders, and I put a link for his YouTube channel in the description. Bernie is throwing down the gauntlet, and he was protesting on the steps of the Capitol yet again. I love me some Bernie. Um, and he had a whole quorum up there with him. So you don't even have to write down. I'm so proud of myself. You don't even have to write down homework, because I wrote down the homework in the description, because in this little segment, when the gentleman gets to the part of what we can do to help, he went through it so fast you can't catch it unless you keep re-listening to it. And I was like, look, I will do that. But this was no. Stop. Goodness. Oh, doing Subaru. Did I put the wrong thing in the description? I'm glad I'm doing this. Let's see. This should be live, or is it not copying and pasting? Is that the problem? Yeah, that's the problem. Okay, let me go to my. Why is it not doing the copy and paste? Let me try this. There we go. I couldn't copy and paste. I had to click on it. Okay. I'll figure it out. Oops. Okay. Susan, welcome in. Good to see you. Yes, they're way making me jump through hoops, but that's okay, because I am stubborn enough to do it. Let me get rid of this. Ah, there we go. And let me turn up the volume so you can hear. Because I have learned when people play things on their lives, the volume isn't as loud as you think it is. If this is too loud, just turn it down.
Robert Wiseman is co-president of Public Citizen, one of the great nonprofits in this country. Robert?
Donald Trump, Robert Kennedy, congressional Republicans, they want to tear away Medicaid coverage from tens of millions of Americans to pay for tax cuts for rich people. Tear away coverage from tens of millions of Americans. No one wants this. 80% of Americans say they want Medicaid protected or expanded. No one wants to roll back drug price negotiations. 92% of Americans say we should do more drug price negotiation, but that's what they want to do. We are not going to let them. They are going to be defeated. They're going to be defeated by the people here and millions of Americans across the country who say absolutely not. But those millions of Americans who are going to defeat that effort, they do not want to protect this current system. They do not want to protect a system that leaves 1 in 4 people rationing their care, 1 in 3 people skipping medicines, 1/2 of deaths due to medical problems that people can't pay for. People unable to get quality care, even if they've got coverage, have to wait too long. No one wants to protect this system. 2/3 of Americans agree we have a responsibility to make sure everybody has access to quality, affordable care. 70% of Americans want Medicare for all. And there are efforts around the country to make this happen. More than 100 cities and towns and counties across the country have passed resolutions calling for Medicare for all. It's happened in Atlanta, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Seattle, San Francisco, Tampa, Tucson, Knoxville, Tennessee, Denton, Texas, Kalamazoo, Michigan, Gainesville, Florida, Greensboro, North Carolina. Those resolutions don't just happen. They happen because people care, and they organize in their communities, and they go to their city councils and their mayors and their county executives. They say, do this. And those people listen because they too know that our system is failing. And as we build this movement across the country, we go from over 100 to many hundreds. We have lobbyists, not just those people, but now those elected officials lobbying Congress to finally do what should be done and deliver in this country Medicare for every single person, Medicare for all. There is a protective bubble over this Congress. There's one thing that can pierce through that protective bubble. That's when all of us organize. That's when all of us call our members, protest here, protest in there, tell them we're not going to let you listen to the drug companies. We're not going to let you listen to the insurance companies. We're not going to let you take care of the for-profit hospitals. You're going to take care of us. You're going to respond to your constituents. We are going to win Medicare for all. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Last but not least, one of the great trade
Hold on,
union
Bernie.
leaders in this country, Mark Dimmonstein, president.
So that's what our homework is. And like I said, he talks so fast, you have to keep replaying it over and over and over again to get it. But we write to our senators and our congresspersons and let them know. I lost my tab. Hang on. Oh, hang on. I can get there from here. I really can. Okay, hang on. Oh, all right. Ooh, child. Okay. It's in the description. We are not going to let you listen to the drug companies. We're not going to let you listen to the insurance companies. We are not going to let you take care of the for-profit hospitals. So we've got 3 homeworks: the letter from AARP, the one about the drug companies, the one about the insurance companies, and the one about the for-profit hospitals. Did he say something that we could do after the for-profit hospitals? This man talks so flippin' fast. Honest to Pete, I don't know what he's saying half the time. But if there's one after the not going to let them for the for-profit hospitals, do that one too. I'll listen to him again and put it in the description. Granny, welcome in. Thank you for coming. Hi, Loopy. Let me go back up and find myself in the chat. I was having trouble getting that to play. Okay. Roberta says they are so lazy. They are going in to get the ones working in the system. They are. That's why they were going into Social Security, because they were looking for the aliens through their Social Security numbers so that they could. And they're too stupid to understand that if they deport all of these people, they are not paying taxes. You are getting less revenue. They don't get it. Pebble says extra money and lots of name changes for women. Yep. Michelle says, got Real ID when they first came out. Figured this nuts might force us. Did it just because we live here. Yeah, I did it so I didn't have to carry my passport around with me, because it'd be just my luck to lose my passport. And that is more expensive than the Real ID. And since I had to do all of the paperwork to get the passport, I could use it as documentation to get my Real ID. Darcia says, that's okay. Just look at it later when you have time. Darcia, I have to write myself a note, because that's what happened. I didn't write myself a note. And yeah, I forgot all about it. You know, my mind is not there. Read email from Darcia. Is it something you want to do today? What time is it? 2:30? Because I can go over there and look. Whoops. Sorry about that. I forgot this thing is not secure. Is there? Yeah, they're doing their best. And the thing is they're trying to make it really, really hard for us females to vote because we showed them on the 24th that 92% is going to vote Democrat, and he's scared. So he's trying to make it so that the women can't vote and the men are scared, and he thinks they'll vote for him. But God bless Wisconsin. They showed him it doesn't matter if Elon throws money at them. They're not playing that game anymore. Florida, I'm very disappointed in. Loopy says, do you possibly have available a news source for the judges in charge of green cards being arrested? Trying to keep tabs. That one must be slipped by. Yeah, I saw that. Who had it? I think Roland Martin had it. And Michelle, I have to send you the link from Roland Martin about the fluorescent congresswoman who gave a speech on the Missouri Senate floor because, you know, we all voted that abortion was legal in Missouri. And the Republicans said, well, they didn't understand what they were voting for. We're going to make it a constitutional amendment. So they made an amendment that made abortions illegal. And she says, how are you going to say that the voters don't know what they were voting on? So she's getting a petition together, and she says, I'm going to go back out there and I'm going to fight you again. I fought you before. I'm going to fight you again. I was like, yes, girl. I was like, they did not. But the House voted for it. Yeah. It is just beyond madness. They are so stinking. And she said the same thing we've been saying. They are not pro-life. They are anti-abortion. They're pro-birth. They want you to have the baby, but they're not going to give you the means to take care of the baby. I found it. Hold on. Can I get to the beginning, or are you going to tell us about it?
Assist a migrant from Milwaukee. Well, federal authorities arrested a Milwaukee County Circuit judge saying she tried to assist a migrant from escaping federal authorities. Now, her supporters say she told the individual to leave out a side door, and that's the justification they actually gave for the arrest. Friday morning, Judge Hannah Dugan was formally charged with felony obstruction. They allege she assisted the individual in evading immigration and custom enforcement agents on April 18th. Now, this is the first time a local official has faced criminal charges under Trump's second administration. Now, here's the deal. They had an administrative warrant, not a criminal warrant, an administrative warrant. And so that's what they were using as the basis for this arrest. Well, Michael, when you start arresting judges, to all the people who are saying, well, he's not going to be that bad, here you go.
Yeah. So I think I also saw it on MSNBC. A lot of people have covered it. I'm going to drop this link in the chat. And then I saw this morning, judges are getting letters. If they're immigration judges, they're receiving letters saying you have 7 days to self-deport. Yeah. So this is, let's see, this is the judge arrested. And the one judge said, I was born here. I'm an American citizen. I'm not going anywhere. See, I would be like that doctor holding on to the chair. I would not be going anywhere. And I still can't get over them tasing people at Marjorie Taylor Greene's town hall meeting. Ooh, they're getting ruthless. They're getting vicious, and they are going against everybody's rights. Nobody has any rights but them. Susan says, hello, I have my real ID. The rest of the family does not yet. Some health nurses here. Okay. And you're home. Okay. Oh, a home health nurse is here. Okay. But you know what? It'll be a while before they get to us. They're going to go for the brown people first, and then they will probably come for us. But I hate to tell him, with the color of my skin, nobody in Africa wants me. And I really don't want to go to Liberia. I really don't. Chris says it costs get certified marriage certificates for proof of name change. Yeah, I had to get my marriage. I had to get my marriage license to apply for my Social Security. I had a copy. I don't know what happened to it. I had moved twice. So yeah, I had to send off for another copy of my marriage certificate. And I don't think, it's under $20 depending upon where you got married. Yes, and homework is in the description, except for the last link that I gave. I thank you for lurking, Loopy. I appreciate it. Chris says, thank you and sorry for changing topic earlier. Don't apologize. Don't apologize, because I only had those two things, and that's the thing here. You know, we want to talk about the things that interest us. They had so much crap going on this weekend. There was really nothing that we could actually do anything about until I opened my mail and saw the AARP letter. And then I was going through the feeds trying to find something to talk about today. And I saw Bernie was live. And then they were talking about the Medicare. And when the man says, we need to, it's like, okay, we got homework. We can do this. So no, don't apologize, because that's what we're here for, to find things we can do things about. Because I had no idea about the HUD. So knowledge is power. Michelle says, Chris, we love that you give us topics to share. Yes, and thank you for doing that. Yes. There's my dear darling Granny. Hello, hello, hello. Pebble says, I agree, Michelle. Chris K, I have a housing choice voucher. There are many types of housing through HUD. See, and I'm glad you all bring that up, because I really have no knowledge of HUD. And unless somebody out here wants it, it'll just go over the top of my head. So thank you all for continuing to bring it up, because that gives me a chance to look it up and we can talk about it and get feedback. Because I wasn't even sure that the federal laws superseded the state laws. Because up until now, I didn't really have to deal with the feds. Loopy says, oh, why did my hello go away? Did I mess up? Did it go away? Oh, Granny sees your hello. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. I thought I saw it. It's there somewhere. The chat probably jumped. Are you on Top Chat? Pebble says, insurance company drive me. Oh, girl, yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I don't remember which president, but somebody was campaigning to get the citizens the same insurance that they have in Congress. And Congress didn't want us to have the same insurance. I think it's un-American. And um, if you look at that link, that's like the tail end of that protest. If you start from the beginning, they have lots of people giving their stories and the organizations they're working for. And they're saying that insurance is an American right. You should be able to get insurance. You should be able to have insurance. Loopy says, glad, no, you didn't mess up. You're fine. My side must be glad. Yeah, check and see if you're on Top Chat. Granny says, I have to go somewhere with Big Bro in just a bit, so I'll have to watch the replay. Thank you, Granny. Appreciate that. Roberta says, Aaron, careful out there, D. And Granny says, and a lot of those wonderful folks do the hard work that no one else wants to do, like agriculture. Like Jasmine Crockett said, we're not working on any more farms. We're not going to do it. We're just not going to do it. And like I said, the only 40 acres I'm working on are the ones behind my house. I'm not, nope. Loopy says the ID under $30 has to update recently. Yeah, but I had to get my marriage license to verify my name change. And I had my passport, but they wanted to see the chain of my name change. Yeah. Is it? No, it's not a pain, Granny. It's not bad. You just have to look at it online and make sure you have the documents with you when you go. And when you go to renew your driver's license, just tell them that you want a real ID, and they'll ask you for your documentation, and they'll take your picture, and your driver's license will be a real ID. Roberta says, Loopy, I had to look to make sure I didn't do something. I have a new phone. Ooh, we won't talk about new phones. Oh my gosh, I'm still learning my phone. Yeah, you just have to pay extra. I don't know why you have to pay extra, but you have to pay extra. Loopy says there is some good news to the voting situation. Judge blocked the executive order and proclaimed Congress only has the power to enact that. And part of the pro bono legislature that he's pro bono lawyers that he's getting, I bet he's going to use it against us so he doesn't have to pay for his legal stuff. The last 3 things he sued for have failed. The Democrats have sued him and Elon Musk. And Elon has had 130 days. I think we're past day 100. So he has less than 30 days and he has to vacate DC, because as a special employee, or however they designate him, he only gets to work for 130 days every calendar year. So in May, he got to go. His tour of duty is over. Darcia says, listen to what they say, but really watch what they do. Yes. Yes. You saw it. Yeah. You've got to. You've got to. Chris says, has anyone heard how Canadian election went? Yes, the prime minister that they hired, that they voted for, is not the one that was pro-Trump. They voted in the other guy. And he's got a t-shirt that says, we are not the 51st state. Coley, welcome in. Oh, girl, that's okay. Honey, life happens. It's all right. The homework is in the description, and there's always the replay. Yeah, they are pro-control. They really are. Yep, yes, the right one won. And he has been very vocal about what Canada will and will not be doing. And Trump said that he was waiting for a call from Xi so they could talk about the tariffs. And Xi says, I have nothing to say to you. I said, okay, Donald. Trump was doing a speech. I don't even know about what, but it was just grating on my nerves. And I said, listen, Donnie. And Shorty says, why are you calling him Donnie? I said, because Donnie is what you call little boys. And she says, call him Donald. I'm like, no, he's being a little boy. I'm calling him Donnie. Bye, Granny. Be safe out there. Thank you for catching the replay. I appreciate it. I really, really, really do. And of course, since he is so uncouth, they had the Pope's funeral this weekend. And by protocol, everyone was supposed to wear black. Melania actually wore a black dress and a black veil. Trump wore a blue suit. He was the only one in a blue suit. So they sat him on the other side of the aisle from the rest of the dignitaries. I was like, you're just so uncouth. You are so uncouth. Did you see Bezos is posting tariff increases on items? Mm-hmm. And Trump is mad at him. And Zuckerberg asked him for something. I don't even remember what it was now. And Trump said no. He is bigly mad. Yeah, but it might have saved us money. He didn't get to play golf this weekend, but he did sit down and had a face-to-face with President Zelensky. And I was sitting there going, Zelensky, don't talk to him. Don't believe him. He's a liar. Walk away. But they did sit and they had a face-to-face talk. I was so sorry. It's the usual with birth certificate or passport. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Susan. Chris says, I'm confused because I've been married and divorced twice, but took back maiden name. So do I even need to prove name? I would say no, but call your local election bureau and ask them, and make sure that you are registered under your legal name. They used to send us out a little card every year saying that we were registered and where our polling place was. They don't do that anymore. Now you just take your driver's license to wherever you are, and they will print out your ballot for where you live. I was like, okay. So I just go across the street. Darcia says, Roberta, yes, he is. I figured he was going to do something because he is not very proud of himself. His polling is 41%. The only person he is lower than was himself from his first term. So he has beaten himself. Everybody is through with him except for the billionaires. Michelle says, depending on the state bureaucracy, have all your records because they will try to block you from your rights. Yeah, call them and ask them. It was Obama that said they don't want you to have what they got. Okay. I couldn't remember, and I wanted to say Obama, but I try real hard not to say things when I'm not positive. So I can put it out there and you all will fix it for me. I love you all. Because I remember it, but I didn't remember who. Jen says, to get my ID, I had to pay for a marriage certificate, even though I'm divorced 25 years. Now I have a driving license as my ID. I also don't drive and no passport since 2004. Well, Jen, if you don't drive and you don't have a passport, if you're not traveling, you didn't really have to have a real ID, did you? Because the only reason I got the real ID was so that I could fly without having to take my passport. I think now I needed it for voting. Something like that. But yeah, I had to get my marriage license, even though I had to get my marriage license for my Social Security, even though my husband passed in 2005. I had to prove that we were married because I got his Social Security until I turned 70, and then I can apply for my own, and I would get supposedly a little more money. So I've applied for my own. Hopefully there is somebody there to look at my application and give me my increase. Because I'm like, you all told me to wait until I'm 70. I'm 70. Hello, do you have anybody there to do my paperwork? I did get a letter in the mail saying that they were transferring over from ssa.gov to login.org or .gov, one of the two. And they're like, you successfully connected your Social Security to the new login. Thank you. And I'm like, okay, thank you. My driver's license doesn't expire until 27. I wanted to wait till then. I don't blame you. If you got a passport, use your passport. I don't blame you. This is just 05. Yeah, I wouldn't do that for 2 years. I waited until mine expired. But check and make sure that you have valid paperwork. One thing that may save me is that I don't have a Spanish accent. That pro bono settlement is on his impeachment papers they just introduced. See, I don't really think that they have thought that through. Because if they impeach him, we get J.D. Vance. I don't see how J.D. is going to be any better. We're just jumping out of the frying pan into the fire. How is Vance going? Once he started growing that beard, he lost brain cells. He really did. Call him Donita because he's Melania is Catholic. She knows the rules. He is supposedly so smart. He should, when they sent out the invitations, they gave them the dress code. What's the matter? He can't read. If it's not on X, he can't read it. We have to call somebody from Fox to explain it to him. Melania did not wear black at Rosalind Kennedy's funeral, and all the other first ladies did. So she messed up on that one. He did play. He flew right back. Oh, did he really? Oh my gosh. So we really didn't save any money. Honest to Pete, I am so sick of him. Darcia, you may need to check if you need it for voting. Yeah, because everybody's state is different. So call your local election board and ask them. He's the best at being the worst. Yes, he is. He beat himself. Darcia says, when the orange walked in for the funeral, the people didn't say a word. When Zelensky walked in, yes, he did. He got a standing ovation. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I heard about that. And yeah, he was pissed. And Zelensky wore his normal black war clothes. He did not wear a suit, and nobody said a word. Petty. They're just petty. Roberta says, I enjoyed that more than I should have. I did too. I did. I forgot I had so much fun. I had so much fun. I forgot about it. Yeah. I was, because I was so blown, because after that, they showed the picture of them having the face-to-face talk. I was so upset about them talking. I forgot about the standing ovation, because I'm kind of like, don't listen to him. Don't do anything he tells you to do. He is going to screw you. You can't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. President Zelensky is the real hero in this whole bizarre scenario. I kind of understand why he wants the backing of the US, but I keep telling him, you cannot trust this administration. You have to wait until the next administration, because they're trying so hard to get his minerals. They're going to screw him. Chris says Real ID also allows you in the post office and the IRS office. We don't show IDs when we go into the post office here. And the doors are usually propped open. You just walk in. I have not, well, we don't have any IRS offices anymore. And we don't show, I've been to the courthouse twice, and I didn't have to show ID. I just had to walk through the metal detector, and they x-rayed my bags. They had the little conveyor belt like they do at the airport. They didn't check my ID. Loopy says, I've never had to present identification at the post office. That claim surprises me. Yeah, we don't do it here. It might be, state by state, but we don't do that here. Pebble says, I do mail-in voting. Oh, Lord, better get ready for changes. Call them and check just to be sure, because the one thing that you think you're sure about is the one thing that's going to kick you in the butt. Susan says, my sister calls him he who shall not be named. Oh, yes, he is. We were in a deep conversation about his attire at the Pope's funeral. So disrespectful. And they showed a picture of his hand. He's got makeup on the back of his hand. And they said that the back of that hand has been bruised for months. I wonder if he's shooting up. His erratic behavior, he doesn't sleep. I wonder if he's shooting up. I really do. Jen says, yes, to get my security license and to prove I'm over 60 when it's Pension Tuesday at our freezer shops. Oh, well, that makes sense then. Even though I'm not yet retired, I can get 10% off. Oh, well, that's awesome. It is a useful ID. Yeah, that's good then. Yeah, because we don't have that. And also what they were saying on that Medicare for All, that we being the richest country in the world, there is no reason why you either can't go to the doctor, or you can't get your medication, or you have to go to the emergency room because you don't have a primary care doctor. All of the other countries have universal health care. No, the lady said all of the civilized countries have universal health care. Are we not civilized? And everybody just went, yeah. All the other civilized countries have universal health care except us. Are we not civilized? You can write a letter about that too. Put that in your homework. Chris says, I know Loopy, but it is a federal building. I think they don't think through. They don't think through. They don't. They're this is we're going to jump off the bridge and, oh, I didn't put on my parachute. Roberta says, Pebble, I was going to mail in 2020, but changed my mind. I want to see it go. Yeah, see, I did mail in during lockdown. And since I've been able just to go to the church across the highway, it takes me 5 minutes. I go over there and vote and come on back. They're not crowded and I don't have to stand in line. I'm just in and I'm out. When they had me going up to the school, it was more congested and we had to stand in line, and I'm like, I'm not standing in line with those people. Pebble says, I actually found a close place I can wheel to. Oh, that's awesome. And I was so pissed when they did the mail-in votes in Oregon and the people were going through burning the containers. So I think they lost a lot of those votes. Somebody said they threw out so many thousand votes in Virginia. And I still don't know how the people in North Carolina all voted because half of the county had no electricity because of the hurricane. Brian Tyler Cohen went through, he did the math, and he said even if all of the recovered ballots had been for Kamala, she still wouldn't have won. She did not have the numbers. I find that hard to believe, but he said he did the research and she did not have the numbers. I don't know. But, and as Michelle told me, because I was trying to figure out how many people did not vote in 2020, there were tens of millions of people who did not vote. I was so... Tens of millions of Americans stayed home and subjected us to the orange one. I wonder what they think about that now. Tens of millions of people stayed home. Trump did the wardrobe thing for attention. Well, yeah, he did, and it got him attention. It got him to sit over on the side by himself with Melania. Her icon pic is pretty. And Loopy again? Oh, wait. She jumped. Hold on, Loopy. I missed that. Oh, something else you might want to be aware of is the attack on Chernobyl, making the area less safe again. Again? When did that happen? I missed that. They attacked Chernobyl again? Putin did say he's going to call for a 3-day ceasefire in May. If he follows through with it, okay, but he lied before. Darcia says, I really don't trust mail with voting. They won't let us do it online, though. Pebble says she only had she did a fantastic job for having, I think she had like 108 days or something. She did a fantastic job. And she started off real strong and beautiful. But then whoever was advising her gave her talking points, and they narrowed what she really wanted to say. And that shot her in the foot. Because if they had let her do what she started out doing, I think she would have won. But then Trump is a showman, and everybody believed him. The Venezuelans believed that as long as they had their papers, they would not be deported. The Muslims in Dearborn believed that he was going to stop the war. Everybody that he lied to believed him because he is such a convincing con man. And no matter how many people told them that the tariffs were taxes, he kept saying no. And 2 weeks ago, he gave a speech to some Republican group someplace, and he says, I'm tired of people saying that the tariffs is a tax. The tariffs are not a tax on the American people. And my daughter said, okay, it's a fee then. It's a fee on the American people. So he's still telling, as Kamala said, it's the same old playbook with the same old lies. But these red states would rather follow a bigot than follow a woman. and a woman of color. Oh no, red states can't do that. That would be too woke. Woke them. I wish I was there with an electric skillet. I show what woke is. Roberta says, I don't think he won. They called it before the polls closed. That's what I was thinking, because they started showing it at 9:00. And I'm like, he can't be that far ahead. Roberta says, I know when it first started, they shut off the power there. Yeah, I don't believe that North Carolina got all their votes in, but then North Carolina's a red state, so what do I know? Loopy says it was just a couple of days ago and it caused a fire to the containment building, exposing people to radiation. Oh, for the love of God. Oh, yeah, I missed that one. I was probably at the Fiber Fest with Michelle. Roberta says, I know when it first started, they shut off the power there. Girl, they just. Darcy says, Pebbles, it didn't matter about the 100 days. There were more for the price of eggs and the lies he told. And what did he say last month? Stop talking about the price of eggs. I'm still trying to figure out how to get those farmers to donate those little eggs that won't sell to the food banks. Yeah, Gaslit. Yes. Have to drop off Screamer. I'm sorry. Yeah, go drop him off. Take him away. Do that. Pebble says too many didn't pay attention to 45 or his business history. The 8 girl, don't you know? And as they've been asking, how many people can bankrupt a casino? How many? He is so good at breaking things, he can bankrupt a casino. But nobody, they just listen to the bull coming out of his mouth. They don't look any further. They don't think for themselves. And what does he say? I like the poorly educated. Now they're closing down the schools. He's really going to have some poorly educated people. And they're just going to smile at him. And as Byron... Oh, Lord, what's Byron's name? Thomas? Daddy's home. Byron Donalds. I cannot stand him. And forgive me, Lord, but I'm going to put it out there. Black MAGAs should be ashamed of themselves, following the bigots, being happy in the segregation. I don't care that they have interracial marriages. I have no problem with interracial marriages. I had an interracial marriage, but I stayed true to myself and my ethnicity. You can blend without jumping. You can blend without drinking the Kool-Aid, bowing the knee, kissing the ring, or bending over. Black MAGAs are a disgrace. I can stay on my soapbox. I'm on the right channel. Unfortunately, many food banks were funded by USAID. I know. But some of them here are funded by churches. I wonder if because we have, some of our churches are partnered with supermarkets. And as things start getting close to the sell-by date, they will donate them to the churches, and the churches give them out on their food bank days. Roberta says, I see it because he is just my ex all over. I am so sorry. I'm glad he's an ex. They are wanting to be part of the cool kids club. They are a disgrace. They are really a disgrace. When Byron said, Daddy's home, I wanted to jump through the TV and put my fist in his face. And I'm not a violent person. But he irked me to no end. No. No. And and you all know that I do my family history. And so far, I have found 5 of my 8 second great grandfathers were the slave owner. It just is. It's a thing. It was the law back then. It's not the law now. You don't bend the knee. You don't kiss the ring. We are not kunta kinte. And I'm not worried about you chopping off my foot. You'll get your foot chopped off. We've come too far. We've come too far to go back now. We're not going back. We're going to fight this. And we got our homework. We've got our, I've got my note to read Dorcia's email. Dorcia, I apologize. But, yeah, no, we're going to fight these buzzards. And I'm going to find out. See, I don't live in Ferguson. So this is the Missouri House. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to Roland Martin aired it this morning. I'm going to listen to her and I'm going to write her some encouraging words because they're out there fighting. They're fighting for us. And it's up to us to bolster them so that they know that we appreciate what they're doing. They're not out here just beating their heads against the wall. And it's up to us to let the buzzards know that we see what they're doing. We're not happy with what they're doing, and they're not representing us. And we let them know when we're not happy how they spend our tax dollars, when they shut off the services that we need, want, and desire. And when they go out here acting like Puff Daddy instead of acting like an elected official, we can let them know and they can turn around or they can suffer the consequences. Unfortunately, the one from my state that I really can't stand, that I voted against, everybody else voted for him in November. We got 4 years of this buzzard before we can get rid of him. The state will see what I saw, but we have a whole lot of rural people, and that was what Kamala kept trying to tell them. You've got all these rural people, these farmers who need the federal aid. They're going to be the first ones cut off. They're going to lose their family farms. Shady and his friends are going to come in, buy them up, and make a big conglomerate so that they can earn millions of dollars off these family farms that the poor farmers have lost. Pitiful. Every time I hear Daddy's Home, I think of The Shining. Oh, yeah, it's yes, we're fighting uphill without weapons, but we can do it. If we're determined, we can do it. We've got Bernie, AOC, and everybody out here fighting for us. We just have to keep patting them on the back and say, go for it. We've got Governor Pritchard in Illinois. I love him. Tim Walz was in New Hampshire, I think yesterday or this weekend. The Democrats are going around to the red states. They are doing town hall meetings. They are answering questions. The Republicans should not be able to win with all the Democrats doing the legwork. Unfortunately, Trump lives in Florida, so all the Florida people voted for his representatives. But we can get rid of some of them. We can get rid of some. If we had an even house, we could at least stop some of their madness. Nothing good can come from that. Yeah, girl, nothing good can come from that. But you know what? We can keep fighting. We can keep fighting. We fought all this time. We thought the fight was over, but no, we got to still fight. Did you see Tim Walz's State of the State? I saw him in New Hampshire. I did not see his state of the state. I'm going to have to go back and see that. Thank you. Let me put this on my note because I'll forget. No, I saw him in New Hampshire, and it's kind of like if I could get Tim Walz and Jasmine Crockett, or Tim Walz and AOC on the same ticket, that would be phenomenal. I would really like to see AOC and Jasmine Crockett on the same ticket, but the red state will not vote for that. I would really like to see that, though. They won't vote for that. Tim Walz, state of the state. And Illinois' lieutenant governor, who is I believe she's a black female. She's female. Is running for the Senate. So for you, Chris, keep an eye on her. She's running for the Senate. John, oh, I love him. Yep. And he's been out campaigning. He's been out asking for donors. But I sit there and look at him and go, baby, you don't need money. Just show up because we're voting for you. I'm not in that state, and I would vote for him. He is very eloquent. But the people I voted for, everybody I voted for in November lost. It's like when I go watch the Cardinals game, they lose. State of the state. It's bad. Is Ola Joe on? We got to do our Val Jean raid over to Ola Joe, the crocheting sailor. My son-in-law keeps singing Jasmine Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. Oh, that's a good one. I love that. I love that. He needs to make a short of that on YT. Oh, that we would blow that out of the water. I would share that everywhere. That is so cute. I love that. Keisha's also running for governor. Is she? Okay. See, yeah. We gotta MTG, Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace they've got to go. They've got to go. The Dems are still going down to El Salvador doing what they can do. They have now taken posters of all of the people who have been deported, and they have them lined up on the White House lawn. So when you drive up the drive, you see all these people's faces. That's not what my tax dollar is for. I need to put that in the description too. I forgot to put that in the clip until just now. Alien face. Oh, what is the word? They have been deported. Deportees. Yeah, that's ridiculous. And so they're like, well, we don't know who's where, and we don't know. You got these people's faces on these posters. You know who they are, and you know where they are. You just prove that you're lying. Because you couldn't have put their names on their faces and their names on a poster if you didn't know who they were and where they were. You're lying. This is why my daughter won't let us out in public together. This is why we have to do this when Michelle's daughter is at work. Because no, she doesn't let us talk about this. We can talk crochet, but we can't talk anything else. Yeah, I got to add that to the description because, oh my God, Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wonder. You know what? I'm going to put it on the community tab because I'm going to put a link to that video so you can actually see it. And yeah, I'm gonna do a separate post. I'll put it on the community tab so you can actually see how vile and hideous this is. This is almost like reading the old medieval stories where they would have people's heads hanging from the castle walls or the castle gates. That's how this hit me. Barbaric. So yeah, add that to your homework. So we got 5 things for homework. I tried to cut the homework down to 4, but I just remember this. So we got 5 things for homework, and I put it in the description so that I would actually remember. Because by the time I end the lives, and it's like, what am I supposed to do for homework? And I have to go back and listen to the live so that I can do the homework. It's like, put it in the description so that you can read it yourself. Let me see. Where is Ola Joe? Is she going live? She is. Oh, she's not live. What up? Did she put a post? We'll be live shortly. See you all soon. Okay, she'll be live in 16. That was 16 minutes ago. Okay. So this is for our dear Ola Joe, the crocheting sailors. And they need to. They need to. I want to thank you all for being here. I am going to go read your email, Dorcia. I apologize. And I'm going to go plug in my laptop because it's 21%. Oh, I got 59 minutes. My energy saver's on. But yeah, there won't be, and I'm gonna put in the post over at VJ's. We're not going to have a live Friday or Monday. So I'll be live at VJ's tomorrow for Whip It Wednesday, and then we'll be here for Tuesday, and we'll catch up and see what's going on next Tuesday. So you all have a little bit of break. And if anything comes up that you want to talk about, please put it in the comments below this, and I'll check the comments before I make up the schedule to see who did what this weekend. And we'll go from there. I did not know, and thank you, Chris, for the heads up about the HUD housing. I did not know anything about that. Thank you for the information about the vouchers, Pebbles, because I don't know anything about that either. Knowledge is power, and that's what they do not want us to have, is the knowledge. We're going to take back our power. Anything else before we go? This is, so I put the link to Bernie Sanders in the description if you want to subscribe to his channel, and then you'll be notified every time he posts something. I have to go back. Hakeem Jeffries and Cory Booker both posted things over the weekend, and I haven't had a chance to watch what they posted, but they were doing things this weekend. Somebody was live. Was it Chris Murphy? Chris Murphy was live yesterday, and Maxwell Forrest was on the panel with him. So they're doing things. They are doing things. It's we're in this together. We're going to make it work. Everybody be safe. Go to the convenience, refresh your drinks, and I will see everybody over at Ola Joe's. Take care now. Bye-bye. And I really do thank you all. We're working together. We're going to win. Listen to what they say, but really watch what they do. Right, Darcia? Right? No, we're watching what they do. And they're acting real ugly. We're watching. and we're going to call them out. Bye, Jen. See you all over at Ola Joe's.